You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. My name is Rusty. This is episode number 106. I did a slide in, Andy. I slid in.
Yeah.
That's.
I saw that.
You saw that? Good, yeah. We're 163. This is Andy. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How you going?
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Yes. Yeah, good. We're here. It's been a little while. How you been?
Good.
You've been busy. This is why it's been a little while.
Been rather busy.
Yeah?
Catching up and playing catch up, I guess, and organising a bunch of stuff. And yeah.
Yes, you ran a match. We won't get into it too much yet, but just want to tease it a little bit.
Yeah, now that it's over.
Now that it's over, now it's finished. Well, we had all sorts of stuff to talk about.
We did.
We had a listener come and shoot the match with us.
Oh, we did, yes.
Shot the match with me and Josh.
Yep.
Josh
Yes.
is here. Oh yeah, Josh. Hi, Josh.
I am. I'm tucked away in the corner today.
Except you've got a camera on you.
Yeah,
Does
I know.
that mean people are going to get to see you?
I should probably put it to me, shouldn't I, considering I'm talking.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's Josh.
This is very weird.
We have broken the fourth wall properly. I mean, the fifth or sixth wall now.
Whatever it is.
We have broken several of the walls. So welcome.
Every wall.
Welcome to on camera, Josh.
Thanks.
He's actually a person.
In fact, I'm over it. Turn it off. Can you just unplug that camera? We just go back to
Yep, done.
get back to us. Good. I have Nerf balls. Look at these. These are to keep Josh in line, so we can throw, because Josh bought a new Nerf gun.
Missed.
And for anyone who knows anything about here at work, we have some Nerf guns.
It's a dangerous workplace.
And occasionally Nerf wars break out, and Josh wanted to take it to the next level. And so he bought this thing, which is
a monster.
a monster. It's got a bipod that's detachable on a Nerf-a-tinny rail. You got a monopod at the back that you press the button and it shoots back up. And this thing is actually accurate to the other side of the warehouse.
It really is.
On a dinner plate target, which is not saying a lot, but saying enough for a Nerf gun. And yeah,
It's pretty cool.
So this is the Precision Nerfing podcast from here on in. Actually, I'm not even we're all way too close for this to be shot, so I'm not even going to load it. But that can stay there. There you go. There's our Nerf gun. Yeah, get rid of that logo. We'll just go with the Nerf gun.
Yep.
from now on. Just see if I can throw a Nerf. I got him in the headphones. All right, cool. What else has been going on? Anything, Andy, in your world apart from Josh buying Nerf guns?
Josh buying Nerf guns. I've been shot with the Nerf gun a few times.
Got some welts now.
Coming up in welts and bruises all over.
You ran a match. In principle, how did it go?
Really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, well, from what I've heard, it's gone really well.
You weren't there. You couldn't make it on the day, but sounded like it was all right.
Yeah. No one got hurt. I think everyone was fed and watered and came out with a smile.
Everyone was watered. Good. Well, I'm glad it was a growing experience for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, we all developed as people. So.
Certainly. Yeah, no, it was good, mate. It was a good match. You did well, and we'll delve into it a little bit more.
Cool.
But there was other matches that went on recently.
There have been, yes.
And so the guys up in Queensland, Biggenden had I'm going to get the name wrong. It was the Monster team match.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's right. And so we have Kenny. We're going to give him a call.
Mm-hmm. Does he know?
Calling him? We're going to find out. So let's see if this is going to work. Whether Josh is too busy showing off to camera or whether this is going to work. Kenny, are you there?
Yeah, that's right. How are you, Rusty?
Oh, we're good. Andy's here as well, mate. You doing all right?
Yep. How are you, Andy?
How you going, man?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good.
Kicking along. Thanks for taking the call. We were jealous that we couldn't get up there to enjoy a team match, which is always something very dynamic and exciting. How was it?
Yeah, it was very good, actually. I mean, Biggenden always put on a pretty decent 2-day match. This time of year, she gets a little bit hot and sweaty, but targets seem to be a bit smaller and further away this year than they were last year, and the matches seem to go longer. But no, it was a really good, challenging match.
Awesome. And so I know that Biggenden always has fairly challenging wind up there, or certainly can do. Did the wind play a big role?
I didn't seem to have enough time to check the winds, Rusty. I was just shooting flat out. So I'm sure. I mean, apparently I shoot a big heavy 6.5 Creedmoor these days. Apparently that's big and heavy. So a lot of the guys shooting 6BR and
Right.
whatever else was out might have suffered a bit more. But our team, which was myself and my brother, were both shooting 6.5.
Oh, right. So
Clean.
does he shoot a bit?
Yeah, well, not as much as he probably would like to, but it was his probably first serious or 2-day match, definitely his first 2-day match, and he did quite well. I think he did better than I was expecting him to do, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. Well, he showed you up a little bit. I guess, no, you're on a team, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
It's a good thing. Yeah, nice, mate.
Yeah,
So
it was.
give us a bit of a quick sort of rundown of it, because I know there was some night sort of shooting and Bitsy was a little bit different. So give us the overall sort of picture of it.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely what sort of Biggenden's trying to sort of set themselves out from the other 2-day matches, is being that they sort of extend themselves into the night, which is definitely a different dynamic. And I mean, first time I ran it last year, there was a lot of lessons learned, and a lot of guys who had shot it last year were ready for it. But I mean, we started around sort of 6:37 with our match briefing, and this year's match director was Mark Skeets, who was the club president at the time.
Oh yeah, and so just to clarify, that was in the morning, 6:37 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So we start on the Saturday, nice and early. We do, I think, about half an hour checking zeros, but you're not allowed to do any sort of, similar to that PRS style rules where you're not shooting off any barricades or shooting any of the steel targets. So
yep.
Once we did that, we got on, split into our 2 groups. There's just 2 details, and we cracked on. And I think we pulled up stumps with the day shooting around 4:35, I think.
Okay, so a solid day. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours break for lunch, after dinner. Sorry. Yep. And then we went on to do the night shoot, which consisted of, I think, another 4 serials.
Yeah, right.
Then we finished up on day 1 around probably 10:30, 11. So it was pretty late, and a lot of guys were pretty beat down from it. There wasn't too many campfires and beers drunk afterwards. Everyone was pretty well straight to bed. They were all shagged.
That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. And then get up back Sunday morning. Did you start early again Sunday, or did you get a bit of a sleep in?
No, they got us out of bed again at like 6:30, I think, or 7 was around that range brief. But we finished by 11, which was quite good. And then we could sort of, I mean, it's a 2-hour drive, 2.5 hour drive to Brisbane for most of the competitors who come from the Big Smoke, and so that gets them back in home in a reasonable hour on the Sunday.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. And so the night stages, if you can dig in on them a little bit. So are you shooting under spotlight on the targets, or do the targets have lights down range with them, or what's the story?
Yeah, so just a bit of both. So some of the targets have like a illuminator sort of buried in the mound a bit to help illuminate some of them.
Yep.
But a lot of the targets we're actually really using the light force boarding lights. Like the 240 bits of light, sort of thing that you would see out the side of like a roof shooter's roof.
Sure.
And I was actually super surprised. We were actually, our longest target, I was just checking over it, our longest target for our night engagement was 560 meters.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And that was only using the illumination of those sort of spotlights. So, that was probably some of the best stuff. There was like a few finicky rules, like you weren't allowed any white light on the line, because obviously that will mess with some people's night vision. So sort of things like that to contend with. But no, it was very good, but also super safe manner as well. Plenty of direction on the night, and it was really good, and it is always good. The guys put on a wicked match at Biggenden.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. And any couple of stage highlights for you?
Yeah, I mean, the night ones, there's one that we've run last year as well. It was slightly different, but the premise of it is you and your partner are sort of set up on 2 separate targets. One of the targets is illuminated by light down on the mound, and it's called, this year is called Unicorn Tears. And basically what happens is one partner has to shoot the unicorn, which is pretty bloody small. And then once they make an impact, they get to jump up and then turn the spotlight on and light up your target. And then it's got like a set time of like 3 to 5 seconds of illuminating your target. And then you get to rail that target as fast as you can. And so that's the one that's making hits. So the big thing with that is, and unfortunately, I suffered this last year, is that I was the one shooting at the unicorn last year, and I didn't get a friggin' hit on it. So we walked away with nothing, which will kill you. And that's sort of what separates everyone in the comp. Whereas this year, I said to my brother, "Oh, you better shoot the unicorn." I didn't tell him that I'd missed it last year, so I didn't want to put the kibosh on him. And afterwards he goes, "How'd you go with that last year?" I said, "Oh, I bombed that last year. I was actually surprised you even got it at all." So that was good. He had a good time of it, but we ended up doing well. But those night stages can really mess with the order of score, because there's just some people who just bomb it, or some people who just kill it. So it's really good.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Andy, any questions from you?
Yeah, how many people did you get up there for the weekend?
I think Andy, it was roughly two teams of 18 teams, I think, and 2 per team. So
yep.
I would say around that quick math, 30 plus,
38.
nearly 36, 38. Yeah, so
that's
massive.
fantastic.
Yep. But I mean, we had a great amount of support too. I mean, we had, the shoot sponsors were MDT. They're a great company always trying to support, and I know they support the PRS scene now as well. BRT, which is Bench Rest Tactical, they're a Brisbane team, and then we have like the 3G Tactical, Light Force, the Huntsman guys shooting some pretty cool prizes to the prize table, and then some local guys like myself as Warlord Gear and Madison Hobbies. So it was actually a pretty decent match for a little club match in relation to the technicality of the shooting as well as the prize table.
Yeah, no, brilliant, mate. And look, there's something you said there that I want to pull you up on and ask you about, because you mentioned your brand, which was Warlord Gear, for those who may be familiar with that. But you've had to change your name for reasons that we can or don't have to go into. But unfortunately, you've had to change your name.
Yeah, I'm happy to go into it, like both of them. But effectively, what happened is probably about 2 months ago, I received some correspondence from a legal team saying that Warlord Gear was an infraction on another company's trademark.
Yep.
Which is not what I wanted to hear. We've just launched the website this year. We're making a lot of traction, especially with the NRL shooters here in Brisbane.
Yep.
We're now
just to cover it, Kenny, you're making bags and bits and pieces like that.
Yeah. So just shooting accessories mainly. Actually, to tell you the truth, it's 2 types of bags what we make, and then some apparel. Yep. Is pretty much it. It's a pretty small operation.
Yeah, that's right. And then you get this legal letter that tells you to stop calling yourself the name you've always called yourself.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, it's a lesson learned, like as everything. It's given me the tools to go ahead and reset with our new name, which is now, Redacted Actual, which is kind of a bit of a play on the fact that, well, I can't use the word anymore. So I'm, one of my first T-shirts is going to be just the old logo with redaction written over the top of it. So that'll, stick it to the man. But
lean into it, man. I like it. So look, and that was another reason we wanted to get you on the show, because that's a sucky position to be in when you have to change your name and you're forced to. And there's no point trying to pursue it, because the amount you just spend on legal fees just pointless for that sort of size.
And that's the thing. Like we got some legal advice, and when I say we, I mean it's me and my wife. We're a pretty small operation.
Yeah.
They said that we had pretty good grounds going on what they were sort of accusing us of, and I just thought, well, who's going to win here? You know what? Even if we do get up,
the lawyers win, mate. The lawyers win.
The lawyers always win. Like a bag's a bag. Whether I call it Warlord Gear or whether I call it Redacted Tactical, it's going to be the same bag. I'm still going to warrant, like that was our big thing, is making sure if any of them break, because a lot of them did break in the start, and that was super embarrassing. But
move on.
So, but no, we're going well. We're Redacted Tactical. We're just in the final stages of getting all the business stuff signed off and all the trademarks now in place. So I have a lot of support from the community, which I was nearly in the point of just like, let's just pack it in and get, be done with it. It was a good journey. Let's move on. But I got so much support from people messaging me and at the range, like, what are you going to do? So, we thought, we'll keep cracking on.
Rock and roll, man. Nice I'm proud you did. It's good stuff. It's good to see. It's good to see the community get around it and support it. So awesome, mate. Well, we look forward to the future. Thank you very much for your time, for coming on and give us a quick rundown on the Monster team match. Hopefully we will see it back, no doubt, next year and bigger and better.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks very much for having me, guys. Have a good one.
Awesome, dude. No worries, mate. Talk soon.
Mate. Bye.
See ya. Good stuff. Well, sounds like a good time.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I've seen some photos of the range and the matches up there, and It looks pretty cool at night time with the spotlights and then all under red lights and things. It's pretty cool to suss it out.
Did look rad, man. Absolutely. Well, it's exciting to start, like, to actually have a show where we can talk about 2 matches, like the point where, like, we better, we're going to call Kenny and get some updates on that.
Yep.
And then also we've got your match to talk about. So let's get into that, because the Rimfire Rumble was the match, and Josh, you shot it as well.
I did.
And for those who've been listening, we put out the opportunity, I guess, for a new shooter to join us. And one of the guys came up to the range, came up to you at the range, and said, "I haven't shot a match yet. I would like to do that."
Yeah, I'm one of the people who listens to your podcast.
Yeah, one of the 3. So and the other one's Josh and my mum. And so my mum didn't want to shoot. So Brad came up and he jumped on, and so we got some ammo, and he came on board, and he enjoyed himself and did. He actually did well.
Every time I saw him,
really well.
Yeah, every time I saw him, he looked stoked, like big smile. He's just like, "Yeah, this is cool."
And so I mean, we didn't really tell him, but obviously, if you got to be involved, you got to be in Instagram stories or something. We started, and he was just chuffed the whole time. So it was rad. So thank you, Brad, for shooting. It was a pleasure shooting with you. I was a little low on ammo. Like, I went to buy another 500 brick of ammo, and they're all out of the ammo that I used.
Typical.
I'm like, oh well, we'll see how we go. We finished the match with 6 rounds between the 3 of us.
Oh
left.
wow!
It was very tight.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, so that was quite cool. So you nailed that one perfectly, Andy, with round count spot on. So from your point of view, man, how did it go? Give us a general overview. It was a 1-day match. Run us down the Give us. I'm trying to say words that I can't think of. Tell us all about the match, Andy. Throw a Nerf ball at your face. There we go. That makes me feel better.
Not the first time.
Terrible. For my terrible. First time it's a Nerf one, though.
All right. Well, yeah. So we had the Rimfire Rumble. So it was a 1-day match at our club at Monado.
Yep.
And I think we ended up with 44 shooters.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, and we were pretty well topping out at, like, our max was 50.
Yeah,
so
okay.
we got close to it, but
you had 48, or something, didn't you? Yeah.
We did get really close, but unfortunately, a few people had to pull out at the last
they
minute.
heard Josh was shooting. They're like, I've got no chance.
Yeah, it's all over.
Bailed, yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good. Like encouraging to see heaps of people jump on it, especially seeing as that we did sort of start advertising it quite late.
2 weeks out.
Yeah, 2 or 3
you
weeks out.
You were a little bit behind the 8-ball on getting it up there. But.
I think it was one of those things that, like, it was on the back of my mind, and I just had heaps of other, work and life stuff going on. And I'm like,
were you nervous about it at all, about, like, running it and how it would go and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
I sort of picked that up every time we talked about it, and you're a little bit just a hesitancy in doing it.
It's one of those things where, like, I've done a few of the half day, really relaxed sort of club,
low key club matches.
Yeah, one of them. And I kept thinking to myself, this is bigger and better, and there's a bit more involved and stuff. And then every time I'd, write down the stages, plan it out, I did, like, my own hit lists of all the different things I had to cover. And I just always had in the back of my mind, like, I'm forgetting something here. Like, there has to be something else. Like,
was it telling people about it? Was that part of the
probably?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those things that I just kept putting off for a while.
And did that eventuate? Did that, like, did you work out what you were missing, or it just all came together?
I think no, it was me just setting
Shoot it ready.
aside.
Where's the targets? You haven't told us the targets yet. Oh yeah.
Now you see those mounds out there. There's a few rocks. Just
third rock from the left. Give the go.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I was sort of at that point. I was just really busy with life and work sort of stuff, and I was like, no, I actually need to dedicate like a day to sit down, go through everything, because you just try and tackle bits and pieces each night of the week.
Yeah.
And then during the weekend, I had all intentions to sort of do it, and then just postpone. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to that. And then it was just like, nah. There was one weekend where I was like, nah, this whole Saturday, I'm just gonna nut it all out.
Yeah.
And I was really really thankful and super chuffed that the other boys at the club really helped me out with, they all came together really quick, like, gave them all the information for all the stages, gave them all the target layouts and all the descriptions and all that sort of stuff and the sponsorships and everything. And they just
made it happen.
He just smashed it out. And I was like, I guess we're sort of done then. What's next?
What am I forgetting now? Yeah, okay.
So, no, that was awesome. And that all obviously eventuated from the previous match that those boys had put together.
Yeah, that's right.
They'd put
Lockie
together.
and Ben ran the last big Rimfire.
Yeah.
Rimfire Reckoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'd done obviously a lot of the background work and a lot of the, and maybe it was that side of stuff that I was unsure of. And I was like, how do I tie all this together?
Yeah.
But really all I had to do was just send it to them.
and they just
put it together.
Magic together. Yeah, cool, man.
So that was really cool.
Nice.
To get their support and just knowing that they were there, and they picked me up on a few bits and pieces, things I hadn't thought of, or just more clarification around stages and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
Fantastic.
But yeah, for the in terms of actually setting it all up, I went up there on a Friday, so I was able to get Friday off work. Sort of went up there, helped out the club with a few other bits and pieces, and then I looked at setting
As
up.
in mowing the lawn, that's what you're saying, isn't it? You spent 3 hours mowing the lawn.
Yeah, well, other stuff as well. And then I was like, right, well, I better pull out some barricades. And that at that point, it was like 3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And this lawn's really long. You're not going to see any targets. So, yeah, I was there till I think about 6:30.
Yep, mowing the lawn.
Mowing the lawn.
Perfect.
I did take my whippersnipper up because I'd heard that, some of the mounds are a bit long. Yeah, it was like knee height everywhere or higher. So, yeah, the most work that whippersnipper's ever done.
Yeah, right. It's still in one piece.
Oh no, I took off the guard thing that cuts the blade. So I just ran the string really long and just hammered it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, nice.
So that was like a bit of unexpected extra work I had to do. But
it's good that you were there Friday because it's a Sunday match. So good you were there Friday, so you sort of had Saturday to catch up if need be.
Yeah, that's it. And like I thought to myself, I've got to smash it out that Friday evening, because unless I come up super early Saturday or do it super late Saturday night and I'm not going to have time to set up targets, like Friday was the day. So
that was it.
I am glad I went up there that Friday.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah. So yeah, did all of that. Sort of went through all the barricades, sussed out what was there, what was broken, what I could use, what I couldn't use, and fix stuff if I had to. Did all of that, and then the Saturday that was got a hand from a few of the boys, and pretty much took all the barricades into their positions. Sort of set up all the targets, like not downrange, but
where they would go,
they'd go, the order, that sort of thing, and
right.
Pre-planned it all, and then Saturday night set it all up, and away we went. Yeah, I had a bit of a late night Saturday night. I went to sleep at 12:30 or something, but
it's not that late.
Not that late. Made a couple of changes in the match books, so I think there was four of us on a table.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this
around.
up. So you changed. Question. You changed.
There's a couple of distances.
Yeah, it was distances, and there's a couple of other bits and pieces where you've whited out.
Very last stage.
So I'm reading through the book here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think
you may as well have just written a whole new match.
Well, I was thinking maybe I just shouldn't have printed books and just
7, 8.
Sent everyone an email here, matchbook.
There's 9 changes in this thing, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. I would have just reprinted the damn thing because you've gone through and like wiped it out and then rewritten the changes. So, man, I'm impressed.
There was 4 of us.
Yeah,
and we
you could have
like, production line that thing. Like one of us was putting it to the right page. One person was whiting out. The next person was. So we smashed through it. Like it only took like an hour and a half.
That's definitely a TikTok. Yeah.
So we we did that. I mean, really, we could have just changed like 5 of the books and given them to the squad mums and gone, these are the changes.
Yeah, you could have done, but you didn't. I love you. I was through the match book, but I wanted to look at it because I shot this match.
The book, yeah. Well, you did, and you did really well.
I did all right.
Yeah.
I did all right. I did better than I've done for a long time in a match.
Good.
Which was, I found another change made. And so I ended up finishing 5th.
You did.
Which I was pretty stoked about.
Yeah, that's good.
And you actually asked me to squad mum this match.
Yep.
And I'm always happy to help. And I certainly, sat on a spotter from time to time and scored
Yeah,
and did things.
I heard you
not
yelling
opposed to it.
impact and spotting and stuff.
No, that was just randomly. just random.
You're just walking around, impact.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, when I get left alone. But I asked you if someone else could do it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately enough, there was other legends.
and we
in
had
that squad.
plenty of people.
Yeah. But the reason was because I wanted to spend the time with Brad, and
Yeah,
we
for
really
sure.
wanted to, if we're going to shoot the match with him, want to actually sort of hang out with him and do that as well. And with Josh, and we were filming and we were doing stuff like that.
Plenty of stuff to do. That's it.
So very fortunate enough, Ben and
Lockie?
not Lockie in our squad. Now I've had a mind blank. Who else was in our squad? I remember Ben and Sean Lawson.
Yep.
Were in our squad, and those boys stepped up to the plate, and they ran everything, which is great, and sort of did allow me to not have to. Oh, I did multitask a bit, but be able to focus on what I was doing, but also sort of really focus on my shooting a little bit more. And I think in recent times, because I haven't shot for ages, I think I've just sort of I've given up to the point where I don't really care, and it's relaxed me so much when shooting. Yeah. And so I've noticed the change where I've just been like, so we'd shot a match a little while ago. Josh and I shot 3 weeks ago. We shot a Rimfire match.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And we hadn't shot for about 4 since we moved into this place, and I hadn't shot since then. And that match went all right. And I think in that time, I just my focus is so off actually pulling the trigger. You know what? Just whatever happens, I don't just
have fun.
Zero care.
Yep.
Zero care. Let's just go out and enjoy and make sure Brad has a good time, and let's just try our best. And then I sort of got three or four stages in. I'm like, doing okay actually.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this will go south soon. and it kept going all right. And then I sort of checked out where I was against Sean. I'm like, all right, I'll choose. So Sean's a good shooter.
Yeah.
Generally finishes fairly, the pointy end. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna challenge Sean. I get on well with Sean, and we always rib each other well. And so I thought I'll try and track Sean down, see if I can beat him. You know? And I was doing all right. And I looked, I'm like, I'm actually. Yeah, it was great having someone to bounce off, a couple of points in front, and you caught up, and you saw the same on this stage. That didn't really make any difference. It was good. I enjoyed
suddenly you started caring a little bit?
Well, no, I didn't. There was one stage where I cared, right, and there was the last stage because I knew, and so I ended up actually Ben who is extremely good shooter, and so I'm like, oh, maybe I wonder if I can catch Ben. I was behind him at the stage, and I thought, I wonder if I can get there, and it was only that last stage that I sort of knew what I had to score to do it and I made a silly mistake because I was so a little bit thrown by having this pressure to do it. But prior to that, I was trying to sort of chase Sean and do that sort of thing, but in a way that was just fun ribbing, and you know what, it didn't actually matter, and that was cool. And I just found that mentally I was so much more I was a little bit more focused, but because that I was relaxed. I think that was the thing. I just relaxed. And
take the pressure off yourself. Yeah,
and it was really good. So,
nice.
Josh, how did you go, mate? You need to talk a little bit because you did actually shoot this match, and you did pretty well.
I did. I was pretty much smack bang middle.
You were top half.
Top half.
22 out of 44.
Half glass full, mate.
Yeah.
Half glass full. Just class full. But yeah, good. Absolutely. Given experience and some of the guys you did beat.
Yeah. I was happy, but I was also unhappy.
Yeah.
So there was some stages that did quite well and walked away from them and going, I'll take that. That was really good. And then there was others that I just made silly mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that you walk away and you go, just that shouldn't have even been a thing.
Yeah.
But, all right, move on.
I get that all the time.
Not just shooting. So I'm just looking through some of the stages here. Was there any stages that you were you liked and you were really keen to see how they ran?
Yeah, so stage 2, I think it was.
Stage 2, yep.
Yep. So this was a longer one and involved...
What goes where, brain bender? Oh, Here we go. I remember this one.
So
I shot this one first.
Oh, did you?
Which is probably... Well, actually, Brad was meant to shoot this one first.
Yep. And you were stand aside.
No, he was like... No, I wasn't that.
I'll save you.
He's like... I really don't want to shoot this one first. I'm like, all right, I'll I think it was our third stage of the day.
Third stage, really, pretty early,
really fresh. And I said, all right, mate, I'll jump in. I'll swap with you. And do you want to explain it? You wrote it, or should I explain it and you correct me?
No, yeah, you go for it. You
All
go
right.
for it. Yeah.
So we had
I'm pretty sure you get it. You shot it.
Yeah, well, I know, I'm reading it in front of me. there was 5 barricades. There was these posts, varying height posts, 6 of them, I think. And from those posts, you would have to take one shot from any of the three of the posts. So you'd shoot and move, etc. That was barricade 1. Barricade 2 was a tank trap, and you had 3 different locations you could shoot from on that thing. Barricade 3 was a large tire, and you would have to shoot one shot from the left-hand side of the tyre, two shots from the left-hand side of the tyre, and then 2 shots on the right-hand side of the tyre. And you couldn't, like, there was an imaginary line in between. You couldn't cross that with any part of your body or any part of your gear. Well, that's the way we ran it.
That's it.
Barricade 4, there was a rope, and there was a rope between 2 star pickets, and the rope had a PVC pipe on it, and you had to shoot from that rope. And you had barricade 5, you had a blue drum, you could shoot through it, you could shoot over it, and you had to take 2 shots. And so you had these 5 different positions. All right, if you're keeping up with us. Downrange, there was one target frame effectively, and that one target frame had 5 different targets on it, and they were numbered by Roman numerals and not in the same order as the targets were set on the line. The barricades set on the line were not in numerical order, and the targets downrange with Roman numerals were also not in numerical order. So they didn't match each other, and they didn't match 1, 2, 3,
Everything
4, 5.
was jumbled. Yep.
Correct. You then on top of that, so if you're tracking with us so far, Josh is.
I think we're going to have to put up a photo of the page or something.
Yeah, there is this on TikTok actually, but
if I was organised, I'd have it go up on the TV.
Don't do that. Okay, no, this is primarily an audio podcast. So we've got to get it right. So we've got 5 barricades with combinations of what we shoot from where. We've got 5 targets. They're all sort of out of order to each other, and of course you've got to match position 1 with Roman numeral I, and vice versa. So you need to know your Roman numerals, which a couple of people learnt on the day. And then the other complication here is you had 5 pieces of equipment you were allowed. So 1 bipod, 1 tripod, 1 sling, 1 pump pillow, and 1 bag. However, you could only use one of those items on any one of the barricades. So you could choose, for example, to use a tripod on the rope position. And if you did that tripod now could not be used again.
Yep.
And then if you used your bipod going prone through the barrel, which a lot of people did, now that bipod could not be used in any manner again, et cetera, et cetera. And so it became a sort of a decision. And I think the people in our squad, and obviously I was first up, so there was the main concern around was ensuring you did things in the right order, hitting the right targets with the right gear. Because you could very easily get yourself out of sync or on the wrong target and be doing all the effort to get the right hit, but you use that bag on the last one, and therefore none of these points count. And you didn't want to make a silly mistake. And so we were shooting little chicken targets. So they're not particularly big, sort of a little bit bigger than maybe a phone or a large phone. Yeah. And so they weren't massive, and we were right on the edge of the range, and we probably had pretty significant wind when we shot it. But what I did is I had a card, and so I wrote position 1, 3 shots from 3. So I would like 3 from 3 meant 1 from 3 would mean 1 shot from 3 positions. Then there's another part there that barricade 4 was 3 shots from 1 position, so 3 from 1. And so I'd have this sort of written down, and I just took my time. I figured if there's plenty of time, and if I didn't finish it, that's fine. But I didn't want to drop a shot from a stupid reason. I wanted to miss because I misread the wind or I'm not a very good shooter. Both valid reasons to miss. But I didn't want to miss because I shot the wrong target or used the wrong position. So I had that on there, and then I basically went through, and on the tire, I used the Skypod across the top of it, made it as wide as I could, and then sort of sat on the barrel, not tire, but on the barrel. The barrel, shot over that. Then I used the tripod as rear support on the rope. And for the first 2 shots, first shot I didn't. I just sat there and just had the tripod close to me, and I was sort of hugging it but not actually using it as support. And then what am I doing? So I brought the hand off the rope and came back to it. And I think I then hit the next two that I actually set up well for. I moved across to the tank trap and used the Game Changer, which worked well. That's the only way I can shoot off a tank trap any decent ability. I then moved across to the I didn't have a sling. And even as a sling, I wouldn't have used it very well. Oh no, we've all got slings in the car or in the bag or at home.
That's it.
And I had the pump pillow with me.
Yep.
And I got onto the first of the posts and I'm like, I don't need it for this. This is fine. I've got a Arca rail, so it's a flat bottom, so it worked really, really well on the posts. And I shot one off of each of those.
Did you find with the post you just sat the rifle on with the Arca rail and then just moved the post forwards or backwards?
I did not. I was not that smart. No.
So you tried to rock the.
The gun didn't need much adjustment.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just I sort of built it up from the back position. I built it up into my shoulder.
Yep.
And was on target.
Nice.
So that was comfortable. And then I moved to the tire with the intention of using the pump pillow. And that tire, because we were on the broad edge, it was big tire. And so we had a lot of room. So my Arca rail sat really flat on it.
Yep.
I just turfed the pump pillow and just shot off there. And I hit everything off the tire, actually.
Nice.
So that was how I did it. And I got through all of it. We had heaps of time. We had 4 minutes or something.
4 minutes.
And so it's good. But it was a good – what it was a good challenge in shooter admin, in stage admin or stage breakdown where you planned it. And then I think, Josh, you effectively copied what I did.
I did. I copied what you did and I executed even more poorly. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
See, I made the mistake of doing, I guess, what I do with everything and have a camera with me.
Oh, yes, you did, didn't you? You had it mounted to the Arca rail.
See, I'd failed stage admin 101 at the start and I got to the barrel, very first object, went, cool, do that, get rid of the bipod, easy. In my mind, I went, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 4. Nailed number 4 targets both times. And then went,
that's right.
Oh, this is number 5. That's why that wasn't impacts. And then went, okay, now I need to actually pay attention to what I'm actually shooting from the barricade to the target.
Because each barricade had a number on it to tell you which number it was, but they weren't necessarily visible from behind the line. Some of them you could only see when you're on the barricade, and then some you couldn't see from the shooting position.
Once you were in position, you had to then go, oh, quick, look up.
And multiple times, like in position, you're like, wait, I better check my number. And you looked and so that was tricky, Andy.
Yeah.
That was tricky.
Yes, caught me out.
Yeah.
You did. You didn't catch me out, sucker. I got it. The guy just didn't hit much. I think I got 9 out of 15 on this, which is not amazing, but I'm pretty sure it was the top score in our squad.
Yeah, nice.
So
Do you reckon I was only one off you then? I reckon I got 8 for that one.
You got 8. You actually did quite well. So you can shoot better than me.
Not as bad as I thought then.
Not very good at the admin.
Yeah, see, I got to the tyre and previously I'd watched him go, oh yeah, cool. Arca rail, really flat.
Yep.
Silly me, put a camera on the Arca rail. So when I put it down, it was now sitting and twisting and I went, this isn't flat.
Oh, and then that's right. You yeeted the camera off the gun.
I didn't. The camera yeeted itself. Oh. It was doing me a favour. I moved across and the camera just went, nah, I'm out.
Nah.
And there was great footage of the camera dropping into the tyre.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing footage. Great. Good. So that, your stage that you brought up you really enjoyed, I did also really enjoy.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was good. Yeah, for that one, when I was writing it, I was like, there's a lot of, I've seen multiple stages and shot them before where it's different barricades, use a different piece of equipment for each one. But then I just felt like I wanted to add another level of complexity.
Yes, you did.
Where you have to stop and think about it.
Numbers out of order. And it did, I did stop and look and check and then look down range and make sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you had to do that, obviously.
And I enjoy stages where the shooter has to make a decision, okay, like not only what equipment am I going to use where, but in what order of targets, because the barricades were jumbled up.
Yeah.
So I think it was like barricade 1 and then 3 and then 2 and then,
Yeah.
So you had to decide, okay, you can shoot them in order, but you're going to be moving back and forth quite a lot.
Yes.
Or you can just go left to right, move less, but you got to keep track of. So there was there was options.
There's another stage here, the other 4-minute stage called Choose Wisely. Now, this is a bit more of a unique stage, which we don't see too often, where you had, it was a 100-meter range, 200-meter range?
100
range. And you had 5 positions sort of moving down range.
Now, this one, when I was actually planning this one, and I should have looked into it more, I was looking at the range layout, and I just looked at that range and went, oh, yeah, that's 200 meters. I didn't actually look on Google Maps or confirm that it was only 100-meter range. So those running distances were meant to be
double,
quite a lot further, hence the 4 minutes. And a lot of people finished it earlier, but some people still timed out.
So to explain it, there was a... Oh, no, you explain this one. I've talked way too much.
I'll explain this one. So 240 seconds. So you've got 4 minutes, 20 points and 20 rounds. Now, in terms of gear, I put 5 items maximum. And you're starting port arms, mag in, bolt back, and the equipment is with the person. So this stage was a moving forward stage where you had multiple barricades. So we had a tire, a rooftop, a big cable drum, a blue 44-gallon drum, and a car door. And during this stage, it's all forward movement. If you missed one of those barricades, you couldn't turn around and come back to shoot it. So on the start signal, shooter would work their way forward to the target, engaging it with 4 rounds from each barricade. Throughout this stage, equipment must be within arm's reach. Used magazines don't count. So pretty much whatever you took, you had to take with you the whole time.
Yep.
Now, my intention for this was to make the target small enough where people would have to try and figure out, is it worth me taking a tripod for rear support?
Yep.
Is it worth me taking a pump pillow for that extra support?
Trying to think about all the gear people could take to make it worthwhile.
So I'd put 5 items max.
Yeah.
Now, realistically, a lot of people, and you could just smash it out with your bipod and 1 bag.
Yep.
And maybe I could have changed it a little bit where it was like you need to use a tripod on here and you need to, but I didn't want to force people to use equipment they might not have or used to.
Sure, absolutely. And so in this instance, hearing now that this should have been a 200-meter stage makes way more sense because this stage...
I should have checked my distances.
Yeah, you should have. You should have because this stage was relatively easy. And so I think I was second last shooting this stage. So I went through and watched a whole stack of shooters shoot it.
Yep.
You didn't give the distances and we weren't allowed to range them for it. But you could see the halfway point on the range. So you figured, that was 50 meters. And then everything else seemed pretty evenly spaced back. So it was about a 10-meter run to every other item.
Pretty well.
So you could sort of guess that out. And then you had actually the distances on the props and stuff. And you look at it, it was like 81.
Yep.
Guessed it was 80, 63. And you thought that was
60.
60. So
fine.
I think we just ran with that assumed data.
I actually honestly didn't look at a distance on a barricade.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
hold a little
I didn't even realize that they were on there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I had the bipod on to start with and shot that first one. I think Josh was the same. I think we used 1 bag for all the stages.
Yeah, pretty well.
From there. And so Josh, I've got to call Josh out here because he ruined this stage for Brad.
Oh, dear.
I did what now?
You ruined this stage for Brad. So you filmed Brad. So you ran down and filmed him going down this stage.
I did.
So Brad went down and you put a key rule in there that if you could not move backwards. Now that's from a safety point of view because that firing line is a rolling firing line. So when you're running downrange, the shooter, that's where the firing line always remains.
The RO would preferably be next to you.
And the RO is sort of directly behind you the whole time or in line with you. And the problem is if you're a shooter and you step backwards, now you're actually bringing that firing line technically back and therefore so correct penalty that if you step backwards at all and bring that firing line backwards, that's effectively a DQ or a 0 or whatever, or an end of the stage or whatever it might be. And
no, we're not talking like 1 step back. We're like of some of the barricades you had to take 1 step back.
Sure, but the point being that you're not exposing that RO to being downrange, so to speak.
That's it.
And so poor Brad left his bag on a tub.
Oh, no.
It's okay. You can shoot it without a bag. Give it a go. And Brad is halfway to the next barricade, and Josh yells out, "Your bag! Get your bag!"
Yeah, my bad.
So Brad's like, oh, turns around,
okay.
runs back, and whoever the RO was like, "Oh, sorry, that's it. That's
What
over."
a stitch up.
Oh, so Josh is
That was my bad.
into the mind games really quickly.
Nice one.
And
Got to
then
get an advantage somehow.
what was
You could
fun,
have just grabbed his bag for him, but no.
I had the pleasure of going relatively late in this particular stage, and so I watched everyone shoot, and I watched Josh. I mean, Josh is pretty quick, just in general. So he the beeper went and he raced his way down to the tire to drop down prone and shoot through there, and then raced his way to the next one and all this sort of thing.
Yep.
And I think I was filming you, and I just sort of, because I just used the zoom lens and just zoomed in rather than walking.
To be fair, as soon as the beep went, all I heard was someone scream, "Run!" And I thought, hey, I must be for TikTok, so I'm just going to run.
All right, that might be my bad. But anyway, so when I shot it, the beep went, and Ben, who was running the stage through, sort of went to take a quick step forward, and I'm like, we're not running on this one, man. There's no guys are finishing with like 2 minutes left. I'm like, we're just going to take this nice and slow, and we just wandered back.
I think he was very grateful for that.
He was
too.
stoked for that because he would have run it about 10 times at that point.
Yeah.
And we went down and just wandered there and shot and wandered the next one. I think I dropped one. If this was a 200-meter target, that target would have made sense. It was too big for this stage. And the shot that I dropped was all me. That target had been 4 times the size, and I still wouldn't hit the damn thing on that one.
Well, that that target was even smaller than the original one. That I wanted for that.
You could have halved that target to make it. Yeah, but anyway, like the good thing was that for new shooters, that would have been a really fun stage that was relatively achievable for them. And there's still a few of the top guys who dropped a point or two on it, enough to make a difference. But for a new shooter, be able to run and gun is really good fun, and that target was quite achievable, and they would have dropped them anyway.
Yep.
Many of us dropped it. A handful of guys actually cleaned it. So
that's it. Yeah, I like the fact that obviously 20 rounds, people would have had to do a mag change.
Yeah, that's right.
And
we did too. I think because we all collectively sort of worked out strategies and stuff, and I think we ended up doing 2 mag changes, so we always had ammo and spare.
Yep.
And,
nice.
Always changing on the move between positions. So,
and I did hear a couple of people, have the 30-second hang fire. So, they had time there to have that hang fire and then catch up. So,
I definitely had a 30-second hang fire somewhere. I had it on. There was a stage where you had to run back and load 5 rounds into your magazine.
Yep.
I had the hang fire because I thought I didn't know whether I shot 5 or 6, and obviously it pulled the trigger on 6.
Yeah.
And I've looked at the arrow. I'm like, can I leave the gun? They're like, yeah, we've got it. I'm like, cool. So I ran back to the mag change, did all that back, swapped the mags out, got behind the gun.
That's smart.
Then he's like 30, and I like cycled the bolt and shot.
Yep.
So it probably cost me 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
That's good.
Made the most of it. So that was good. I didn't really had anything else to do, so might as well do that.
That's a good point, because I often see like when people do have a hang fire, they put their head down, which is like, fair enough. You should be disappointed. And
I mean, you missed your target, so you may as well just give up now. Go on.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my last match. I'm done now.
It's quit.
Just
I'm
walk
out.
away.
I'm out.
No, like you use that time effectively. Like whenever because I've done it as well, and you're like, you hear that click and you go, damn it. All right, take the magazine out. You could load it back up. You can check that, there's no crud in there, or, do something, make it worthwhile, check your data. Okay, what's next, and then, you got 30 seconds up your sleeve. So
absolutely.
Use
Spot on. I do like that. I'm just looking at that stage now. It was called hang time, which seems appropriate for the way I didn't shoot it.
I feel like that one I might have pushed a little bit on time. There's not heaps of people that got to the 300 meters.
Oh,
I think.
That's right. That was
at
the 300. Yeah. I think I got. I think I got 4 out of my 5. No, I think I got all my rounds.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Fair
it was
enough.
like
there was
3 days.
not a lot of impacts on that 300 meters when we went and
I
collected
got
at
a
the end of the
couple of
day.
them. I got a couple of them. I was happy with that. Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
It was a difficult day. I reckon there was about 4 or 5 different wind changes. Like throughout the day, it was hard left to right, and then it changed to a little right to left, and then it was head on for a bit, and then there was a tail. So
I reckon I watched Sean shoot, and as when he was prepping for the stage, as he was getting for the stage, wind was pretty predominant left to right. From the time he sort of put his magazine in, took the thing out, and then built a position, it had switched entirely right to left.
Yeah,
entirely.
Yeah,
and he missed, which probably helped me a lot. So thanks, wind. He missed a whole stack because of that, and then but it switched drastically. Yeah, drastically.
Did play around a bit.
Yeah. So Andy, well done, mate.
Yeah,
well done.
That
was a good match. It was good fun. It was a lot of fun, and I know poor Brad had a DQ on one of the stages for moving with the bolt closed.
We've all been there.
But he finished 28th. He didn't get, apart from the DQ, obviously, which ends up being a 0, but he didn't actually 0 any stages from a hitting targets point of view. Good. Which is very good of him. Good job, and he did well. So congratulations, Brad.
Yeah,
it was great,
well done.
Great fun. And
don't suppose you remember what plush he ended up on? So plus you got first, obviously.
You got first, yeah. Are you now flexing on his behalf? Is that what's going to be here? So I just asked you.
I just like
Go on.
to
give me a good little snippet flex.
Look at you go.
Wrong side of the camera, but hey,
there's nothing there.
There's nothing to flex, nothing to show. You can fix that in post. He was on 116 points.
Yeah, okay. Because I do like to, because the match was out of 130, so to get a rough gauge of.
Yeah,
because if you have lots of people finishing in that 125 and someone does hit the 130, you're like maybe not hard enough. And
I think he was 118, and then I think there was the second and third guy and Joel, off memory.
Yeah, Joel's, yep.
They were both on 114 points.
Yep.
I think separated by the tiebreaker.
Well, that's pretty good.
I think Lockie came in fourth. No, Lockie came in fourth and was 1 point in front of me, but I don't remember the score.
Good. Well, I'm glad the wind picked up a little bit then.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to mix it around. Got to mix it around. So, no, good job, man. And you had some pretty amazing support for your match. So you got to drop all your sponsors and say thanks to apart from the last two, they're junk.
What do you mean last two? Well, I mean, we did have some awesome support.
I thought all your logos were on the front.
No, I'm looking at
you're going in depth.
Yeah, there was stages involved with these guys.
Okay.
So we had a skill stage, SK ammunition. For one of the stages, they put up a brick of ammo, which was awesome for the fast.
That's probably why I couldn't find the ammo I needed, because they gave it away instead.
Well, it was sitting there. You could have.
Could have.
I'm chuffed that I was able to, reach out and everyone was, super willing to jump on board and support the community and the new shooters coming through. So we had SK. For one of the other stages, we had Carla's,
which is one of your sponsors. So there was a connection there.
There was a connection there, and everyone got to spend a little bit of time behind the Carla's scope.
Yep.
For the I was super chuffed and super impressed with the prize table, even though I didn't get anything. But that's all right.
That's right. It makes you feel better. I didn't get anything either.
Yeah.
I got a hug from you. Yeah, that's right.
We got hugs.
I got a hug.
We got hugs.
There we go.
So a massive shout out and thanks heaps to Element Optics, SK Ammunition, Porter Machine Works, Ignition Custom, Adelaide Gun Shop, Carles, SJS Trading Co., Projectile Warehouse, and Scoped Out.
I told you the last two were junk, but the rest are really good. So that's
the last two are solid.
Only because
I swear I'll get them once.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So that is, I did like how you incorporated some of those sponsors into it, and there was sort of these little bonus prizes sort of along the way, which always add like a little bit of extra element to it, and I love it when those little sort of additional stages end up in the hands of someone else that shot and perhaps maybe didn't have a chance in some other areas, but ended up winning a bonus little prize. Like the scope went out as a door prize, which is brilliant. So
definitely,
that's good stuff. It's great to see the support. And speaking of Rimfire, I had a new goodie arrive yesterday.
Okay,
I've got a new scope for my I got a new scope for my 22.
Yeah.
So it is much like my other scope. So I actually bought, this is an XTR3.
Yep.
And I had one and I loved it. And so I got another one that was sort of for my rimfire.
Mm-hmm.
But I was waiting on a mount, which I've been waiting on for a while. And I was moving the scope across and it was working really well, actually. And I wasn't shooting a whole lot. So I had the other XTR3 I hadn't even opened yet. So we sold that and sort of someone wanted one. So, all right, we'll do that and I'll sort something out later. And then these finally came to the country. This is the XTR3, but this is the 3.3 to 18. Nice. So the magnification, rather than 5.5 to 30, is just a little bit more imbalanced. And so for the reticle sort of ratio suits the rimfire a little bit better than the bigger one. And so this is going to be on my rimfire
very nice
soon. So yeah, same
that's
reticle,
gonna be awesome.
same feel, a little bit smaller as well, so it's not quite as chunky.
Yeah, as long and very good.
Which is probably a good thing. So I look forward to putting that on. So anyway, that's my latest little acquisition. Which
well, you got to spoil yourself sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, treat yourself. That's it. And in other good news, we speaking of treat yourself or someone treating you, we had pizza tonight.
Ooh.
And we didn't order the pizza, but the pizza arrived.
Ooh.
And then we opened the box.
Oh, what's this?
And the box said, "Congratulations on 20K followers, Rusty." From this is on TikTok. Someone on TikTok bought us pizza because we hit awesome. 20,000 followers. So that's awesome. Incredible. So thanks, Rosie, for that. That's phenomenal. So this is going to get mounted up on the wall. That's amazing.
A keeper.
So anyway, if you're not following us on TikTok, no pizza for you.
No, you missed out.
It was delicious too.
It was good. Right, that's it. Cheers, Josh.
Thank you.
Cheers, Andy.
Cheers.
Thanks, Kenny, for coming on. Let's stay redacted.
Thanks for listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast. To continue the discussion, check out our Facebook page. And for more information, head to our website, www.precisionshootingpodcast.com.au. This episode was brought to you by Impact Dynamics.